Hello, chat. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. How we doing? Hope you guys are well. Why is Pulls and G on in the background? How dare you, Pulls and G? Go away. Welcome in, welcome in. Is my music still loud for you guys? It seems like my music is still pretty loud for you guys. Is that better? I'm waiting for your meds to kick in so you can get some sleep. Yeah, you gotta go back to like a normal schedule now, right? Because you gotta teach the kiddos, right? ZZZ broke your stuff last time. That's why I was on. I see. Are y'all gonna join me in here? I just didn't want to. I didn't want to be in stream when I started up, and I didn't want to have Minecraft stuff going while I was trying to think about RPG stuff. But you guys are welcome to join me up here if you want to. Gasp. Yeah, I was sick today too, which is making it impossible to sleep right now until my meds start working. That sucks. Yeah, Raven, we'll miss you, but you are always welcome to pop by anytime. You're always welcome to pop by anytime, and it's been good having you here. But I hope you have a really good start to your semester with the kiddos, and I hope it goes well. It's good having you here. Let's start from the tippity top. Raven, specialist widow goblin in the whole wide stream. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Ooh, woo, ooh, woo. Congratulations. Also, thank you for being an early goblin and getting your loot. Mikey Bobikey. Hello. Mikey Bobikey, thank you for being first to chat. What?
You're gonna have to move Gaia, because Gaia's not back.
It's okay. Mikey Bobikey, thank you for being first in chat, as well as being an early goblin and getting your loot. Congratulations. Chewy, thank you for the hi. Also, thank you for being an early goblin and getting your loot, as well as being not first. Fuck it, I'm early, I'll take it. Exactly. Steel, hello. Wildcard, thank you for being an early goblin and getting your loot. Yeah, you have a shitload. 800,000. No, nope. No demanding communism in this chat. No demanding communism here.
Oh. I was confused. I ended up asking about it.
Yeah. Also, Chris, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Zix Goblin Mob Boss. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know me, but if you don't, hit that follow button. Also, maybe hit refresh so that it counts you as a normal viewer. Yellow Goblin, yellow. Justice. I shall hopefully see y'all occasionally once school gets into motion. Not gonna fully disappear. Good. Hi, Guy.
I'm here.
You are
I'm
here.
here to beat the allegations.
What are your allegations that you're having to beat?
I beat them. They don't matter anymore.
Is it the mimic allegations that were being argued about during my stream?
No, Guy. Those aren't allegations. Those are just statements of fact. Guy's
No. It was Sweet saying that he's not the best mimic because he's the only mimic.
That's not an allegation. That's a falsehood.
That's because you ate all the other mimics. That's how being the best mimic works, right?
Yeah.
If you eat a mimic, do you absorb that mimic's power? Or is that just a slime thing?
Have you seen how many mouths are on me?
Is the mimic just a really complicated slime when you think about it?
Yeah.
Like
we're more fleshy slime. It's like a flesh construct. It's like a flesh golem.
Oh, I see. So you have a flesh golem and a slime, and then they DNA digivolve, and you get a mimic. Is that how that happens?
Precisely.
Got it.
That means I need to take Gaia to the Aether to defeat the other mimics so he can become stronger.
Exactly.
No, in that case, I would enslave them and take over the world.
The mimics in the Aether have legs and feet.
Oh my
They got
god.
little-
So do I.
Well, I mean, they're not in the normal mimics in game are just chests that hop and try to bite you. These
We
got legs.
Chewy, I'm Australian. We don't have to deal with that shit.
That's a no, I think.
Yeah, they that's why us Americans can't take our dogs over there unless they go through this whole long process.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't
Hold
have
on,
rabies.
this actually raises an interesting question.
Yes.
Is it like highly recommended for you when you leave your country to get a rabies vaccine? Before you travel abroad? Because it should be.
Should be. So I've only been to Japan.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do anything like that when I was going over there.
It was
Hmm.
something like that, Lockhart.
My dog stepped on a bee? Okay. Did that one get you a little bit, Chris?
Yeah. I'll
Chris,
never.
you good?
Yeah.
The image. The
Sorry,
imagery of her.
The mic cut out, so we didn't catch any of your laugh.
Mm, the imagery of when she said that and the dramatic head turn while they crying. I'll never forget that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So last time on TTRPGZ, that's a lot of acronyms.
Yeah.
We talked about the things that we wanted to include, things that we wanted to avoid. We got our stats, which are our stat domains are body, mind, soul, and personality. With the options of luck and sanity. We haven't really figured out how luck and sanity are going to work because they're not going to govern skills, but question. Because I know that there are going to be certain character classes and archetypes and stuff that I'm going to want to build around crit. Should the luck stat affect crit?
お前はもう死んでいる。
Well, how do we want the crit system to work?
I TP. Thank you for being not first. I don't know.
That would be that's my first question on that. It's just how do you want a critical system to work?
I'm pretty sure we use D20 to hit everything, right? Like, we keep that.
Real quick. Wildcard, I checked. The dogs were not put down. She did, however, get them in the divorce for some reason. Oh, are you gonna share your screen with this 6?
Oh, am I not sharing? I'm sorry.
No.
No, it just wouldn't work.
There you go. Okay. Something to think about. Do I start with classes or races? I think I start with races first. I also added Goblin here because, you
Well,
know.
obviously.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, do we not add Goblin for the Goblin VTuber?
Yeah, right? I
Like
think I
a
start
kind
with
of
races first, right? Species.
Mhm.
Is race or species? I think species is probably more accurate.
Well, okay. Do we want concept of interbreeding between these creatures? Because that's what separates race and species. If they're different species, they cannot produce viable offspring.
Yeah, do you want hybrids?
I had the thought of letting you do like an origin trait, right? In which you pick both of your parents and you get to pick like a thing from them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Oh my god, Chewie.
I don't know what Chewie said. What did he say? I saw it and then it got deleted.
It's something to do with race.
Yeah. See, why would Wildcard go Chewie? Chewie!
Hey, was it bad? Was it bad?
Yes!
I mean, it's a
Bad.
sentence we can repeat.
You said it's the sentence what?
I think it's a sentence we can repeat.
Oh boy,
you just said,
message me what it was.
Okay.
Now I'm scared.
Now you're scared. Well, consider this.
Now I'm
He
scared.
sent it and then immediately hippity hoppity. So it was like instantly gone.
Well, shit. What's it? I literally glanced up. I saw his name and started to read the message. Didn't see what the text was, and then it disappeared because as I heard the shotgun.
Or because you're
Your favorite.
That's really funny, actually. No,
Yeah.
you can't. Don't say that. But it is really funny.
And it's not entirely wrong with games like this.
That's so funny, actually. Holy shit.
Consider this. Zix used the
Oh my
opportunity for our first campaign to call me a tree hugger and an animal. I'll leave it. You guys know. I don't have to finish that.
Oh, yeah.
He unblurred my character.
I unblued your character. Interspecies
re-blue it.
relations. I guess it would be race, since I want them to be able to intermingle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In your game, then, what would I be, Zix?
You'd probably be
What
elf.
would I be?
Actually, for the vision that I have, you might fall under the devil angel thing.
Mm.
We're not gonna call them devil angels. We're gonna come up with a name.
Yeah.
A la like tiefling, right? And
Like
ASMR.
ascenders and dissenters?
Yeah, something like that.
I have heard feet.
Yeah, automaton, probably. Do I include a
Did you say-
slime?
Hold on.
No one
Did you
heard.
say feetlings?
Maybe.
Oh,
I
God.
did hear you. But Zix talked, so I had to process it a little bit
But not
more.
spelt the way you're thinking of spelling it.
As in, like,
Weirdos.
as
Alright.
like feet? F-E-A-T?
No.
No. Is wildcard right?
Yes.
I think spider Chewy would go under the animal one.
Okay. We're gonna go. Oh, I actually have the beastkin in mind that I want to do, like the animalkin.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I
you
did
have to
try
remember
to
this
make.
is like sort of my second draft of this stuff.
Mm.
I
I kind of had a idea for a spider-based playable race really early on in my D&D career. Called, I really liked their names. I called them arachniads.
Ooh. What even is Chewy? That's the question. What even is Chewy?
Chewie, what are you?
I don't think Chewy knows based on that. Cheshire Cat.
Cheshire Cat. Yeah. I was like,
Then you'd be
I'm
like
pretty sure you've
Animalkin.
always big cat.
Beastkin.
Fucking bastard illusion.
My star rail is not loading again. Close it.
Why can't I not find my old draft? Excuse me?
I'm sorry, I ate it.
It's a little funny coming from you, Wildcard.
Well, you have to confront your fears by making them in D&D and then slaughtering them. That's what people
Not
mean.
everyone takes the slaughtering route. Others are like, I'm gonna seduce you now.
Hey, everyone has their own methods of getting over their trauma.
Sometimes they get over their trauma by getting under it.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say by getting over it in a different sense.
What?
We can't get over it. We can't get
sorry,
under
guys.
it. We're gonna.
Raven,
Straight up.
trust me, it's not the worst. This is not the worst that we heard.
So, well, my spider people, so they had like blue gaunt skin, forearms, really sticky white hair as their webs.
Oh. Yeah. As soon as you said sticky white hair, I was like, oh, web.
Yeah. And, I don't know why, but the first thing that came up to them was like their marriage rights, which is they take off one of their arms so that their other half completes them.
I fucking can't, apparently.
Huh? You lose the thing?
I straight up can't find my first draft. Need to keep that. Is it here? Is it in this one? Hey, Woody, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in.
Oh, it's the Woodster.
Hey, Woodman.
It's not stolen if you're willingly going.
I can fix that. Don't worry, Woody. I'll make you a truth sayer.
Dun, 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 dun. Do I just not? There it is. Found it.
Hey.
Take a gulp right now and stretch.
Hydrate. Well, I'm gonna stretch first. Because I started the stretch first.
I was about to say, I can hear you stretching.
Oh. That was a good one. Okay. So, for the sub races for the animals, I had Beast, Reptilian, Avian, Arachnoid, and that was it. Is the 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna scroll up.
Night.
Have a good night.
Ooh, yeah, mantids.
I think we'll have to limit to like one
Insectoid
like
looking thing.
arthropod race.
Mm-hmm.
Because that'd be a whole different like system.
Whole
Yeah, like
Can of worms, so to speak.
like
Get it? 'Cause-
like Gaijin for
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like that would be flavored.
Yeah,
So
you can
how-
remember
How are
flavor
you
it.
gonna make up the genetic diff? Yeah, I'm gonna have a homebrew. I am gonna have like canonical lore, and like canonical air quotes lore, right? Like world
It'll
setting,
be a
like
canon
a default setting.
world setting. Default
Yeah.
setting for the system. Just like how
And
it has Faerun.
yeah, and the big idea that I have for that basically is that it's urban cyberpunk fantasy, right? And you essentially have these huge mega metropolises that are these like huge, just massive towering cities with like skyscrapers and all of that shit, right? Like completely modern, kind of sci-fi-ish, you know, all of that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then outside of those cities, you have the wilds, and you essentially have within the cities you have hubs of technology, and everything is run by techno stuff and blah 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 blah. And then the wilds is obviously nature and magic, right? Have a good night, Raven.
Yes, good night.
Sleep well.
And the idea behind the like default setting would be that no one's really sure where the animal can come from, but there's a lot of like paranoia around them because of the fact that no one knows where they came from. They just kind of appeared, and they've only been around for like a few generations, right? And the popular theories are that they are the byproduct of some genetic experiment within the cities, or they are nature reaching out and cursing humans for their like impudence, you know?
So that way you could have a character be either or.
Yeah.
But
And so like,
Gaijin, here's the issue with that. Arachnids are not insects.
yeah. I specifically wanted the arachnoids to be spiders and scorpions.
Yeah, which is why I said arthropods.
Yeah.
Several things fall into that.
And like the idea being that all of those creatures are sub races of the animal kin race, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how I got this name the first time. I must have done something with Latin or something for the devil, and like my tiefling equivalent. I had that as the name. I don't remember how I got it.
Varangi?
Yeah, Varange is how I pronounce it. And I'm not sure how I got to that. I'm not married to it, but that is the first one. I really need to Google shit before I say shit.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't say it sooner, Gaijin, was because I didn't want to interrupt them.
I do have some ideas for what I want to do for the races. So I kind of want to lift what I kind of want to lift D&D 1's idea of actual bonuses to stats coming from your backgrounds because it reflects like the training and the discipline that you've done to get the background that you have, right?
Yeah,
I like that idea, right?
It's a very good thing.
But
Because it makes more sense.
but I do think that your racial background, like your genetic makeup, should have a physical effect on your character, right? And so I think it was Wildcard that maybe suggested it, and I think I'm gonna run with this idea of the races all have a stat that they increase past the maximum of 10. So like right now we have it, you have a score of 1 to 10, right? Scale of 1 to 10 with 5 being the average, right? 10 cannot be breached by natural means. So each race has a stat that they increase point, like by not they don't increase the stat, they increase the stat limit, right?
So somewhat like min-max Wildcard. You think they should min-max?
If they excel in one, maybe they should detract from another to balance it. Yeah, what I was thinking about humans, because like the whole idea of a human is that they're like the jack of all trades, right? Like in most RPGs, right? I was thinking about like possibly giving them a buff to 2 stats and a reduction to 2 stats. So they have the most variance of the races, but you get 2 power stats potentially, you know?
Oh, yeah. So who gets charisma? Changeling.
Changeling would obviously get charisma, yeah. Let's set this up properly. Good and proper.
Yeah, Wildcard. I didn't necessarily mean min-max, but that's what came to mind, so that's what I blurted out. I don't know another way to like
this seems
elaborate.
Hold on.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to make it so it's not this far over.
Oh, yeah. Go to the. You see the ruler on the top? Drag that little blue arrow. There you go.
Okay. I want to organize this alphabetically, I think.
Okay.
We're gonna go. Nope. Why'd you do that?
Because it reset the it's going off a new status of
Fuck
it.
off.
Drag the arrow back.
Yeah, but it's gonna do that every time, I think.
Okay, then what you do instead is you leave one at the top, and you leave human at the top and just enter from there. Hit enter, make a new one.
Yeah, I see. I see what you're saying.
At the very end, remove human. Take out your
Really?
humanity. Oh, well. Then do it all. Make the whole new list in alphabetical order, and then put it back.
Hi, Boomy.
So, and I got the wrong one anyway. Animalkin. ABC. So changeling.
And dwarf.
The devil angel. Dwarf.
I was gonna leave the devil angel till last because their name is still fixed.
Yeah, but I'm just doing this so that my brain can work on them better.
Animalkin's just any typical beastman. Or,
Dwarf elf.
you know, is it
EFG.
Brumi? Do you play ZZZ, Brumi? What am I even saying? It's basically just a kimono mimi, animal ear character. Anime cat girls. Yeah, our Cochrane.
I think you just want to pick on Zix, Chewy.
Goblin. And then orc. And then human. Oops. What if you had the level 1 goblin meme? Why dare? Why dare? Why dare? Why dare?
Yeah, that's why I was like, you just want to bully Zix.
Furries, literally furries? No, not literally furries. Only sometimes literally furries. Sometimes scalers. Sometimes avians. Is there a bug one?
Now.
there a
Oh,
bug name
don't know if there is, but
There's gotta be.
Brawlies.
They'll give up for a week for you. No! You'll kill the man.
Don't worry, we'll get in with the /J.
Why now? Why?
Consider he has missed several gambas lately.
Yeah, I've missed several gambas. Not the Slash Jordans.
Hmm.
The bank is frozen Chewy's assets.
Yep.
So here's the problem. I don't want to start with Animalkin and Automaton now.
You don't have to. Like, you can reorganize things.
You chose. You wanted to be in alphabetical order.
Why does
Well,
it
you can-
fucking leap to there? Oh my god!
It's probably set to automatically go there.
Yeah.
Changeling. Personality maximum increased by 1. Shape changer. You can use blank. We're gonna just put that there because we haven't decided vocabulary yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
To assume the form of another humanoid. This humanoid must be within How like expandable do we want shape changers to be? I'm thinking like 30% of body mass, plus or minus 30%.
Sure.
What if you made an avian named Jordan develop footwear so that he could have Air Jordans? Body mass.
It would increase that footwear.
Is that your character, Chewie?
You will remain in. I don't even know how to use this. How to say this? Dismiss it or die. That way, it doesn't happen if you go unconscious, because I don't think it. I don't want it to be dispelled if you go unconscious, because I also don't want it to be dispelled if you're sleeping. You know, the idea of like you shift your body, and you become that thing, and that's just like how you are now, right? Like. It's not that it takes any active thought, it's just like that's the shape your body is in. So like yeah. I like the idea of giving each creature like each race like a weakness, but not necessarily a stat weakness, right? And so for Changeling, I was thinking about maybe giving them sort of an RP weakness, but it could also be used in combat potentially. Is a like the traditional folklore thing of they have an allergy to silver. What do we think?
Repeat that.
So in folklore, for shape changers and for changelings, a lot of times they will have an allergy to silver, sort of like a la vampires and werewolves and stuff, right? And so they can. So like the idea would be maybe you take bonus damage from silvered weapons, and if you're rendered unconscious by a silver weapon, then it would dispel the form.
Oh yeah.
There's also Cold Iron going the Fantasy Fae route, but silver would work more in urban fantasy. That's true. What do you think, Mr. Mimic? Would you play this race with a silver allergy?
Yes.
Just take bonus damage from silvered weapons? Do we don't call it a silver allergy, right? Silver sensitivity, I guess?
Can't even use silverware. That's how you get them. That's how you reveal them as frauds.
Give them, like, actual silverware?
Yeah. We need to eat civilized like the rest of us, and like, oh no. Yeah, well, basically that Earth, Wind, and Fire dude in JoJo's, who may or may not be an alien. We will never fucking know. He's great.
There you go. I'm gonna use silvered means because I like the idea of having not only silvered weapons but like elemental spells, and like maybe one of the elements is silver, you know?
I mean, even just like I have a amulet that's made of silver.
Mm-hmm.
Or like
Like your focus is made of silver?
Yeah. Because I'm thinking something similar to
that could be really cool, actually.
From Helltakers, who wears like the cross and has it burned into her chest because she's a demon.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Oh.
Oh, wildcard. Let me move you a little bit.
Hola.
Where are you?
Just in front of.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry.
No, I just couldn't figure out where you were in the list of sources. There you go. You were small.
I am small.
You're now slightly bigger. I'm gonna put you behind Chris a little bit. Holy fix. Holy fix.
White pole.
So we have a strength, just a neutral ability that they have, and a weakness. And I think that that's generally the idea that we should go for each race. Because I don't think changelings need anything else, right? I think that this is a full character kit. It gives you stuff to play around with.
Wow, Wild Garden.
Dwarf.
Poison resistance. They're definitely a body.
No.
Why not?
I think they're going to be mind. I want the dwarves to be the engineers. The driving factor behind the cities being raised up, you know?
Oh, so you want to be kind of like the Dwemer?
Yeah, I want dwarves and elves to be diametrically opposed. Like actual like they did this in D&D like years and years ago, but like actually have them full on. So like dwarf is going to represent the technology and elf is going to represent nature, you know?
So I would look at them and go, ew.
Also, one of the things that I think is really cool about older D&D thing, and I'm sad that they abandoned this more so. There's still like hints of it in D&D, but I think they're probably going to throw it all out. Dwarves and elves are the opposite in how they also present themselves genetically by their sex, right? So like the best way that I can phrase it is dwarves represent the extremes of femininity and masculinity, whereas elves are more androgynous, and like there's much less of a difference between male elves and female elves, right? And so like in like OG D&D lore, like male elves just can't grow facial hair. Like bearded elves don't exist, you know? And like their frame is slight, like elf women aren't super curvy, like all that stuff. It's why dwarf men have these big burly beards that like grow back the day after you shave them, right? Like, and dwarf women are super curvy, right? Dwelves. Oh yeah, the fucking dwelf is a horrible creation, and it's just a human. Like,
Yep.
but yeah, I kind of like that idea for dwarves and elves of like having them opposed in literally every way, you know? So mind
Matter.
Mind maximum increased by I'm thinking about this because I wasn't thinking about changelings being the epitome of the personality stat, but I think they would be based off of what we have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if the epitome should increase them by 2. And just have another downside. I'm gonna work with that idea for right now. 2.
Yeah, put on the back corner.
I feel like if they're the epitome of that technological development, right? Their whole kit probably works around mind, right? Like,
I'd be careful not to restrict races behind stats specifically, and keep that more to classes.
That's fair. A poison resist would be interesting. And it is a pretty standard dwarf feature, right?
Yeah.
Usually. Because they can hold their liquor.
It could also be a holdover from their times where they were in the wilds while still advancing, you know? Poison resistance. We'll define what poison resistance means later.
True, alcohol is a poison. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Dark vision?
In regards to that, I'll repeat what Chewie said. Diggy diggy hole.
Diggy diggy hole. Diggy diggy hole.
What's like a dwarf's weakness?
Their height.
Fuck up.
I'm allowed to say that.
What would a dwarf's weakness be?
Big head, little arms.
Quicksand.
Have you guys seen the thing about dwarven cooking?
No.
Oh.
Yeah,
I might have.
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, you know how most of the time, you know how most of the things humans use as spices are poisonous or repellent to most other mammals? And you know how anything vaguely D&D inspired has dwarves being way more poison resistant than even humans? Dwarf cuisine shouldn't be bland. It should be unimaginably spicy and potentially harmful or even fatal to humans. The green potato and rhubarb leaf salad with a festive garnish of yew berries and deadly nightshade berries, that kind of thing. Concept: humans think it's bland because rather than memorizing what kills humans, it's just safer to pass on all the spices. Should we add salt? Everyone eats salt, right? No, that's a rock. There's no way humans eat rocks.
I love
But
it.
we do. But we do eat rocks.
But I do kind of love that concept, right? Just of like, they eat just actual, like, deadly shit. Like,
It's hey, if your dwarf friend offers to cook you a meal, don't accept. Not because
I'll accept it anyway.
Not because it's necessarily bad, but because they don't realize that it's going to kill us.
what is a dwarf's weakness?
Bland food.
Bland food. God.
Stealth checks, bro.
Stealth checks. Wait, do we have a the stealth stat? Actually, hold on. We were building these stats, and I don't remember there being a stealth stat. I mean, I guess you could claim dexterity. We don't have a stealth.
No, if they're if dwarves are like, do you want them to be the protect their minds?
Yeah.
They technically then also have a lack of
Soul.
Spirituality, soul.
Do we make it that simple where they just take a minus? I don't want to minus the maximum for souls or for stats. That's the thing. Mind maximum increase, because like I don't like the idea of soul maximum decreased by 1. I don't like the idea of, oh, suddenly if you pick a dwarf, suddenly you can only ever get 9 in soul. I don't know if I like that. I think that's that's too harsh.
Yeah, I wasn't saying lower their I'm just saying
Yeah.
that there's a penalty to their soul. Not that specifically.
Like a penalty to rolls involving the stat.
Like they roll at disadvantage.
I could even go as far as a penalty to the specific skills.
Yeah, well, instead of like, they have umbrella, they have special things towards certain skills.
What do we think? Also, all rolls for soul governed abilities are rolled with a -2 penalty. So it's not outright like a disadvantage, right? But it is a noticeable like ping against you. I think 2 might be too severe.
I'd argue for -1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to restrict. I don't want to make it so that someone can't be a dwarven caster, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And if you get into technology with magic, having it could hurt that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they go dwarf.
Mm-hmm. I think this is a good setup.
Mm-hmm.
Poison resistance, dark vision. So here's the question. This thing has 4 things, right? 4 traits. Versus this one having 3 traits. Is Shape Changer a big enough game changer to justify poison resistance and dark vision counting as 1?
I would say so.
Because Shape Changer is pretty fucking huge.
Yeah, it is.
Like, what's going to affect gameplay more? Probably Shape Changer.
Yes.
I mean, actually, poison resistance probably gonna. I don't know. It depends on how common poison is, I guess.
Poison resistance could be
potentially huge.
very niche.
Yeah,
Dark
and that's what I'm
vision
saying.
Probably
and
the big thing
Yep.
for dwarves.
This thing's relevance is gonna fall on how prevalently poison features in the game. It's like it's how like fire resistance is the best resistance in D&D, you know? Because like so many things give fire resistance. Or so many things deal fire damage, you know?
yeah, very easy to do fire damage.
What if when you're done with the list you make a tier list for the races? They're all S tier. They're all my babies. I guess if we're gonna go from dwarf, we can then go elf.
What?
Was that that me?
Yeah. Well, that's the closest you're gonna get to me.
So
The worst D&D resistance, like the most rare damage type.
psychic. It's not even close. It's psychic.
Uh.
Because it's that uncommon. Right?
Yeah, it's basically like mind flares and like a few psionic spells, and that's basically it. I'm trying to think of like what else it could be. Surprisingly, thunder damage is kind of rare because thunder is distinct from electric. Like,
Yes.
thunder damage is kind of rare. I think psychic's more rare though. Acid's also pretty rare though. There's a lot of poison. There's not a lot of acid.
Acid is what I would jump to, because I think yes, psychic's rare, but that can be debilitating.
That's the thing, is like psychic's rare, but the things that do psychic damage fuck you up. Like,
Yeah.
I would have to like give that some serious thought actually though, to like be like, what is the worst resistance?
Yeah. But if I were to rush an answer, I would personally go acid.
Yeah, because I literally can't, like, there's like a handful of spells that do it. I can't think of an enemy right now that deals acid damage because everything deals poison damage.
Yeah.
I do know the least resisted type is force.
Yeah.
I know something that did acid damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know why I picked it too now. Actually, the Tarask deals acid damage sometimes if it eats you.
Yeah, I mean, if something eats you, sure, that's going to do acid damage.
For those of you that don't remember,
Horse
for Thanksgiving,
F-O-R-C-E.
for Thanksgiving, he made us giant fight a giant
Oh.
turkey, and it puked on us. And the crow made us.
Dragons do acid.
Black dragons do acid damage. Maybe it's not acid, actually. Hold on, that's actually huge, too. I didn't even think about that. Black dragons and all their, like, spawn and, like, cousins deal acid damage. I didn't even think about that. Acid might be a lot more resistant than I thought at first. I think I go with my DJ. I don't know. But, like, the things that do psychic damage aren't going to be doing damage to you with psychic spells. They're going to be taking over your brain. You know what I mean? So, like...
That was also
like, they're... Because it's mind flayers, right? Like, that's what you're worried about, right? Like, mind flayers and then, like... things related to mind flayers, you know? Like... More things resist psychic damage than things that resist force damage. Oh, yeah. So maximum increased by 2. I think that this is pretty easy. I think we just give them the opposite, right? All rolls for mind. There you go. I don't feel like elves have dark vision.
Depends on the elves.
I mean, they're forest
That is
dwarves.
another question, is do we have sub-races of dwarves and elves? I feel like we don't. I feel like we keep it simple right now.
For an urban, yeah. Urban setting, don't worry about it. Because that's something I have to remember. This is an urban fantasy setting.
Do they have like a tree striding ability?
Oh.
Is that the thing? Or like a tree sight ability? What did I give elves in the first draft? Elves are regarded as the most beautiful and elegant of all the humanoid races. They tend to be tall and slender with hair and skin color varying between regions. In sharp contrast to the dwarves, elves are typically more androgynous in their features. The men cannot grow facial hair. The women tend to not have curvy figures, and even when either sex gains muscle mass, it is usually very lean. They are the longest lived of the natural humanoid species, most living to be about 1,000 years of age. Most elves tend to speak Elvish, Common, and Primordial. Children of the World Tree. All elves have an inherent link to the natural world. Oh, I gave them proficiencies. I gave them proficiencies with magic and nature.
Yeah.
Elven Grace, they're typically...
Oh god, don't do it. Don't die. Don't pull something in your back from seizing. Don't do it.
Oh gosh. They're typically not what most would regard as naturally athletic. Elves have a natural grace that allows them to be quite dexterous and competent with weapons that complement those skills. Gain proficiency with agility. Gain competence with blades, marks, weapons. Oh, do I give them just a competency with a weapon type, actually?
Mm-hmm. Like what kind of weapons? Other than, bow and stuff like that. Wouldn't that be?
I was thinking, in the original draft, I had it listed as blades and marksman weapons, so anything that was...
Oh, so like finesse, in a way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, weapon likes to dexterity everywhere. I don't like how you phrase that, bud.
Yeah, and I just dexterity all over them. So good. Hey, bro, you want to come over in dexterity later?
Oh my god, Chewie. You didn't do for it. I think that makes it worse.
Gain capability. I'm gonna asterisk that. Capability with bladed weapons. Bladed and
yeah.
Do I just
You go dexterity in the little corner.
Weapons. I'm just dictating my little corner then. Oh god. Blood been stolen. I'm home. I don't. Is it? I mean, I guess if they took it against your will and you didn't want to give it to them, I guess it is technically stolen. Right?
I mean, they did they demanded he come in, so
yeah,
he didn't voluntarily go.
You okay, Woody?
He thinks they found something and they're double checking, and they didn't tell. They're not telling him yet.
That's spooky. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's.
Keep me posted. They didn't. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
That's a relief.
They lost your.
They lost the. Oh, okay.
Oh my god!
I mean, realistically, though,
they could have told you.
That's a good. That's a good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but they didn't tell him that. He thought before he went, he assumed that they knew something and needed to double check.
Do we do anything else with elves?
Do you know what would be cool for elves? Since they're supposed to be naturey and stuff, like if they get less of a penalty from like certain types of difficult terrain.
Ooh, I actually just straight up like that. They cannot be impeded on natural terrain. Or natural terrain cannot impede them.
Mm-hmm.
The idea being that, like... Because I figured I would take some of the stuff, like climbing halves your movement speed and things like that, right? If you're on natural terrain and an elf can just climb full speed up the tree.
Yeah.
Meaning that, like, their full movement can just go boop, up the tree.
Yeah, consider like again with Baldur's Gate, I love using thorns. I love using like the spiky vines, and it would make sense for like an elf not to be bothered by that because they know they're used to it.
When on natural terrain, your movement speed cannot be reduced. Hold on, I need to word that better. Because, like, that implies that a spell would not work if, like, someone casts, like, slow on you, right? And that should not.
Natural terrain does not reduce your movement speed.
Yeah. Dopes. There you go. Natural terrain does not reduce your movement speed.
You can, in parentheses, put spells not included.
No,
No?
Yeah. So, I get that might sound bizarre, but the idea being natural terrain, even magical. So if someone casts a spell like...
Like the thorns I was talking about?
Yeah, like the thorns, like the thorny patch, right? That does not hinder you because it is still natural terrain, right? But like a spell that generates a non-natural thing like an oil slick, right, would affect you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's just something you have to be. That's something you have to be really careful with how you word things.
Why was I not?
This isn't necessarily.
I forgot it was a sub. This isn't D&D stuff.
It's not necessarily D&D.
It's D&D adjacent.
It's adjacent. Who are you? Who sniffed my foot?
We're making a TTRPG all our own.
Hello. I found out who sniffed my foot. It was Sage. Hello, my son.
Half
Oh,
giant.
you guys weren't in call earlier. I woke up earlier, just a little bit before going back to sleep. And not long after I woke up, I realized somebody was licking my toes. And it was Sage. And then he stopped and left. And then Sriracha got in the bed and started trying to fight my legs. So he was grabbing me and biting me. And I'm like, I just want to go back to sleep.
That's adorable.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not crazy about the name half giant because that implies whole giant somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to have giants in the game, right? I don't know if I'm going to call them giants.
You're fighting your tail. That's your tail.
So the question that I have is, what do I call these guys? I don't want to call them Goliath because obviously, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a race or a trait? It's a race. Like it's an entity. But I think that I might call what I think I might call. No, I don't call them that. I was gonna say what we might call giants is instead of calling them giants, is call them titans, right? But but I like the idea of having legendary enemies called titans. Giant Ken would be more suitable. Let's see if there's some synonyms for giant. Colossus, Behemoth. Yo, I do kind of like the idea of a race called Behemoth, actually. Mammoth, Leviathan, Monster, Monstrosity, Ogre, Jumbo.
Yeah, so Behemoth would work if it's like
bestial.
Yeah, it's to me like Behemoth is effectively a Leonin to a Tabaxi.
Yeah, a behemoth in this game would be whatever we're gonna name this thing, breeding with one of the animal kin and the child that they make. That's what a behemoth would be probably.
Oh, do we take Norse
yeah.
mythology?
That would be good.
For Jotun.
Oh, actually.
You gonna have blue people? Are they gonna blue people? Sorry, all I can think of is
Jotnar. Jotun, sometimes anglicized as Jotun. Plural. Oh, Jotnar is the plural of them.
Oh, but that would be.
Norse mythology, remember it.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I mean, having them listed as Jotnar would be cool.
Aesir and Vanir.
Aesir and Vanir are
the gods in the.
Yeah, they're the two different sects of gods. Like
yeah.
Erden is Aesir, and I think it was one of his wives.
Yeah, I actually really like Jotun.
Yeah.
I think that's what we do. And it distinguishes them enough from just normal giants.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a different term between like the frost giants and the fire giants. Like, what was Surtur?
Surtur, he was a fire giant.
Yeah, but like, did they have a different name for that type? Or was it just a different type of Jotun?
So most of the frost giants were unfriendly Jotun. However, they were friendly Jotun. Gerda became an Aesir, and so was a friendly Jotun. The fire giants are still another group of Jotun. Yeah, they're Jotuns.
Okay, yeah, they're just right.
I want to have sub race. If we do Jotun, I want to have the sub races.
That does remind me. D&D has given Goliath a bunch of different. You can choose effectively the same as like how Dragonborn. You can choose your ancestor.
Mm-hmm.
They've done that with Goliaths now, with the new rules.
Ooh.
That's really cool.
Yeah, because regular Goliaths, they're all descended from stone giants. Now you can choose whether it's a fire giant or storm giant, which I find that pretty cool.
So I was gonna have Orc represent the archetype of physicality, but I feel like it's got to be Jotun, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna. Damn it.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Do we do the personality? I think we do.
Yes.
So the problem then is, do we give Changeling that negative too? Since it's the epitome of that. So it gets a minus to body checks.
Let's go through all of them. Let's do like the first one server, get everything done,
draft,
and
yeah.
we'll look into that.
Enter. What's their big thing? I think they're already going to be considered a bigger size category than most other characters, right?
Like give them the equivalent of like a heavy build thing from D&D.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
for certain things they count as a size larger.
Mm-hmm. Pushing, pulling, lifting, carrying, throwing. Grappling. Is there anything else that would really be affected by size? Pushing, pulling, lifting, carrying, throwing, grappling, jumping?
Yeah. That's like that's one of the fringe ones, but that makes sense.
I think we're just gonna leave it at this for now. And I think I leave it at one size larger, because if someone casts a spell on them and like the equivalent of like enlarge and reduce, I want them to be able to swing up another size larger. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is the questionable one. How do I articulate this? Let me look up monkey grip. Monkey grip, there it is. No. This is part of this feat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just realized that as a grappling, wielding weapons. And I don't think it needs to be melee weapons. I think even a ranged weapon, it makes sense.
Yeah.
The idea being this guy could carry a greatsword in each hand.
Mm-hmm.
We got to come up with a stealth.
Yeah.
Strength, dexterity, constitution, stamina. It's got to be a body check, right?
Absolutely.
I would. Like you mentioned, sleight of hand when coming up with dexterity, it would probably be under dexterity.
Yeah. Then it makes me want to change dexterity to like a different word.
Nimbleness?
Dexterity. Synonym. Deftness. Agility. Nimbleness. Talent. Delicacy.
Definitely not, because then it's like, that's it.
Food?
Why do I have a skill of how tasty I am?
Facility is interesting. Finesse, actually.
Yeah, that works.
I think finesse works really well. Acumen? No, that doesn't really work.
Nerd. I think finesse is going to be the best thing to find.
Yeah.
I guess that goes in hand in hand with the finesse weapons I mentioned earlier.
Finesse. Did I spell finesse? Yeah. Finesse. Rolls. What's the minus that a giant gets for trying to sneak?
2.
2?
Here's what I was thinking, yeah.
Wow, Chewy.
Well, five was my knee jerk reaction, right? But I was like, that's D&D brain telling me that. That's too big for this.
And worst case scenario, you can always intimidating them into not seeing you.
Yeah. I think these two, him having two negatives, is justified by this. Being able to potentially dual wield great weapons is nuts. Like, just off the rip, you don't have to take any sort of feat. Like, this is an ability that will probably be a feat. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because it's that good. Like, being able to dual wield great swords or great axes or, like, hell, even being able to wield, like, a giant's bow or something like that, you know? That's gonna be fucking nuts. Like... The amount of damage that these guys are going to put out is going to be bonkers. Okay. So we've done we've done the 4 apexes, right? We've got Changeling, we've got Dwarf, we've got Elf, we've got Jotun. Everyone else, I feel like, kind of falls.
Be body, right? Not mine.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
You forgot to swap it.
It also changed soul to personality.
Yeah.
I sent it in the VC TP.
What?
Just look in the VC and you'll see.
I know this.
Hold on, very important.
Okay.
All right, I'm just gonna go. What if you make a weirdo's call phase and it's Beastkin's in the face? Oh boy. Orc.
They definitely get a penalty to mind, right? Or you go in Warhammer Orc?
I don't know.
What would you do with a goblin then?
I actually really like what D&D did with some of their orcs stuff. Orcish endurance. I like the idea of them getting the fucking too angry to die sort of things, you know? Like,
fuck you, I'm too angry to die.
Yeah, if you're full to 0, you're like, nah, fam. I fall to a 1.
This is being dumb. Why are you being like this? Hamster Beastkin. I don't know. What do we think about that? So my 2 reflexes are they either get a fuck you I don't die ability or they get like an adrenaline rush ability.
Like the fighter's
like
second wind?
Yeah, like a built-in second wind that kicks in automatically.
Something to that effect. I'm thinking almost like the Red Guards from like Elder Scrolls.
Mm.
Ooh, hold on. We restrict it to like a once every, I don't know, once so many things, right? Like, we make them the barbarian, right? Like, I think Jotun's gonna be like the fighter, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think Orc is the barbarian, right? Or like the equivalents thereof.
Honestly, like I picture Jotun just like sticking their hand on somebody's head, being like, "You can't touch me now."
What if orcs, like their adrenaline rush ability, is like an insane boost to the body stat that's temporary? And they can only do it once per like so many long rests or something. Or if they do it, they take a point of exhaustion or something to that equivalent. Everyone is guided them? Damn.
Wow, Chewy.
Hi!
Hi!
You warned me, but you're not wrong.
The thing that worries me about that is I think it pigeonholes them a little too much into combat, into like martial class.
Yeah.
If we give them an insane buff to thing, and it's like, it's one of those things of, you don't have to do it, but if you're playing Orc and you don't go like a martial class, you're probably just playing the class wrong if we do that, you know?
Yeah.
Or it can be like for X penalty for X amount of time, you can go no and just like
not die.
Stand back up from being downed. Like they take a hit to their intelligence for a bit.
Oh, I've got it. Once per... We're gonna leave that there. We don't know what the time constraint is, right? Once per time constraint. You can trigger a blood rush. While in this state, you cannot be rendered unconscious. You would not be rendered unconscious. This state lasts until the end of the next turn of your next turn.
If it's triggered at 0 HP, I might recommend doing what zealots do and still make death saves.
I'll get to that later because I'm not sure how I'm gonna do death saves, you know?
Right.
If I think that's the skill. You can potentially keep it going. Like if your party sees what's happening and is smart and like lines up enemies for you, you could potentially just rush your way through stuff until you drop, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that that's really cool. Body maximum increased by 1. Also, this is terrifying because the way that we're building this, there's no penalty to stealth or anything, so you could actually very feasibly make a terrifying rogue with this. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't think they have dark vision. I don't think they have resistances. What's their, like, weakness? Weakness of an orc. Are they dumb? Do I make them dumb? Is that too easy?
A little bit, but it's the first thing that comes to mind.
Part of me likes the idea of, like, the instinctual urge. Like, taking advantage of their instinctual urge. And, like... How do I phrase this? I don't know how I'd phrase it in-game mechanic, right? But, like, if I were to do this in D&D terms, the idea of a race that if it is presented with the chance to do an opportunity attack, it has to. Like,
Okay, yeah.
like it takes a little bit of that agency from you, like. But I don't know if I like that or not. Just the idea of, like, if an enemy presents itself to you, something primal within you ticks and it just goes, kill it. Like,
Yeah, that feels a little.
I think it's too much.
Frenzied.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exile as enraged state adds to the orc. Nah, that's too much.
What's our question, Gaijin?
I got a quick question. Yeah. Yeah, they're natural born.
Natural born? Yes.
Well, I say that, but I might end up going the route that, like, Lord of the Rings are. The orcs are just, like, really fucked up elves.
Right.
Like somebody had a little too much fun with magic or something.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of... The thing about orcs is they were largely invented by Tolkien. That is, there largely aren't traditional orc stories the way there are myths and legends that feature elves and dwarves. The traditional weaknesses of orcs and derivatives like Trollocs is that they're a race created to serve a dark lord with limited ability to resist his will and often something in their nature that makes it impossible to survive without him. This is why the Lord of the Rings film ends the way it does. Yeah. But D&D didn't use that mold in most editions, although not the current ones. Orcs are just large, savage, primitive raiders. In the early D&D, wore its influences on its sleeves, and where Tolkien was one of them, another pitted the fundamental conflict of the world between civilized law versus primal wild chaos. I've shamefully forgotten who it was.
Well, Gaijin, this isn't D&D.
D&D is a major...
else.
Hold on. Orcs are canon. Are they?
In the new rulebook, that's the equivalent race they're now portraying them as.
That's so... Okay. I'm gonna withhold my thoughts because I don't want to get into a topic here.
I'm gonna send you the official art.
D&D orc weaknesses are a mild vulnerability to sunlight. In 3rd edition, it was literally a negligible penalty to attack rolls, and spot checks in bright light, and limited mental capacity. They were worse at building things and societies, easier to trick and manipulate, and less resistant to magical domination than any of the standard player races.
Actually, Medley, you do give me an idea. What if we, set up the generic lore for them in this part, and then do the game mechanics after we figured out, the time constraints we're going to do and everything else? So, have the general lore around them settled here, rather than go into mechanics, because a lot of the mechanics of the races are going to be flavored by the mechanics, like combat and social mechanics.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I sent you the official artwork for the orcs in the new rulebook.
They don't even look like orcs. Am I crazy? They don't look like orcs to me. Anyway, good night now.
Night,
Have a good night, Chewie.
Night, Chewie.
Oops. Elf. Keepers of nature. Said to be born of the world tree. Attuned with magic. Yeah, I think that's enough of a blurb, right? So then the question is, where did the dwarves come from, lore-wise? I hadn't thought about this.
On the ground.
I like the idea of a volcano being a forge as opposed to the world tree, right?
Ooh, yeah.
What do I call it? We have the world tree. The forge heart? No. The core forge. No, I don't like that either. It needs to be something, right? Like a hearth forge. I need it to be like on scale with the world tree.
So you said elves are said to have been born from the world tree. I mean, is that like one really big, terrifying volcano? Like the dwarves can trace their origins back to this one volcano.
Oh, actually. Where is it? Where is it? I have an idea. There you go. Mount Zenith's Forge. The idea of this volcano, Mount Zenith, the biggest volcano in the world. It is just a forge. Okay. Jotun. I like that idea. The idea that these titans existed before the world tree and before Zenith. And they've just like existed as these embodiments of the elements. Right? And then the Jotun are just like believed to be their descendants.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, wait, hold on. No. We're getting rid of Mount Zenith here, because I'm not married to that name.
Yeah.
The Dawn Forge.
There we go.
It's the dawn of civilization. The beginning of recorded history, essentially, right? Have like a little bit of a lore idea, but I'm not entirely sure like all the specific terms. I don't know if I'm gonna continue with the name Betwixt.
Mm.
The idea of like a spirit that lingered and just like couldn't find a place to call home, and so it just made homes for itself, constantly shifting.
Sure. Yeah.
Orcs. I guess I need to make a decision on whether or not they're corrupted elves.
Yeah.
And if so, how did they get corrupted? Or do we know how they got corrupted?
Hmm.
I got an idea. What do you think about that? Elves say that they're... Yeah.
Okay.
Elves say that they're twisted mutations of elves that dwarves tried to make to bring them into the fold, and dwarves say that they're twisted mutations of dwarves that elves tried to make.
Yeah, it works.
Plot twist, they're not twisted versions of either. Elves and dwarves are just dipshits. That would be really funny. Here's what I'm thinking, though. What if... they get a plus to focus and to willpower checks? Thus further muddying the waters. Like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Why could they do both things?
Mm-hmm.
I actually really like the idea of fully muddying the waters with these guys.
Yeah, not giving a concrete answer which way.
Mm-hmm. What was it? Focus and willpower?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is 3 positive things right now. We need to come up with a very big negative. I don't want to do a stat focus thing. What's their like thing? What's the like bad thing that they have? Perhaps their conflicted history could lead to having trust issues outside their own native tribe.
That's a player.
Yeah, it's a player choice. I don't. It takes away player agency, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I like the idea, like lore wise, right? But like, I think that has to be that.
Let's get back to this earlier date. Let's do the lore for everyone else.
The what?
Let's do lore for everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one's pretty easy.
Yeah. The brainchild of the dwarves.
How do I phrase this? Yeah, I like that idea. Like the concept of these were machines that they like got tuned to perfection, and something went wrong, and no one really knows what happened, right? Or like how it happened. But one day an elf looked at them, and that they were just like, that thing has a soul. Like, and they just definitively knew, which also implies that there's a measure to tell when something has a soul or not, right? But I also am kind of okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm also not crazy about the name Automaton. In the initial thing, I called them androids, but I don't know if I like that either.
I think, yeah, Android doesn't work either. It's... Yeah. That's something we just gonna have to workshop.
Yeah. This one is clear. Where's the thing? Sorry, I'm scrolling on my other page. I'm just gonna copy and paste this lore that I had. Yeah. There you go. Descendants of humans that underwent a catastrophic series of mutations. Some claim that this is an experiment purposely done. Others claim that it was the magic of the world. Regardless of their origins, it is clear that these people are no longer fully human and have gained the genetic traits of various animal species, often seen as monstrous and therefore frequently discriminated against. Some fear that whatever happened to their bloodline could be contagious. Just directly copy and pasted from my previous lore. I think it's good though. This is the one that's gonna be like, oh, do you want to put in discrimination in your campaign? But da-da-da-da-da, Animalkin. You know?
Are you crying because you're hungry, or are you crying because you can go out? Oh, it's that one. I'll be back.
Okay. Right. Goblin! We'll skip it.
Goblin.
Halfling. We'll also skip that. Why do I have Goblin twice?
Because you didn't delete it when you put it with the G. Also, why is J after... Or why are the H's after the J?
Because this was...
Because they were
half giant at first.
Oh, right.
Human lore? I actually
Just
regular people, fucking boring as shit.
I do actually have this. My description that I gave them. Humans are the most diverse among all races. This is because historically humans have been the most curious and eager to build cultures with the other races. They have oftentimes adopted cultural norms and rituals similar to their neighbors, making humanity a bit of a melting pot. Most humans live to be about 100 to 150 years of age at the most. Because of the human race's tendency to adopt ideas from outside their own culture, humans have somewhat of a reputation as being a jack of all trades, master of none. Sort of people among the other races. Still, they are often acknowledged for being well-rounded and can often be found filling out the ranks of other races' organizations. Humans usually speak common language and one other culture which they neighbor.
All right.
I actually like that. I think that Metler just summed my thing up better than I did.
Oh, yeah.
Oop. Why did I do that? Stop that. Oh, is it? Let me try this again.
What's up?
There you go. It copied the background of OBS for some fucking reason. Truly, humans were once considered invasive species able to adapt to most scenarios. Oh no, sceneries. No one truly remembers. when they arrived, or from whence they came. But in a short time, they become cultural. Okay. So yeah, I like that.
Humans are the most adaptable to every other race.
So then the question remains, in terms of human, non-human compatibility, which race is going to be the Vaporeon race here? Which one are we going to make the Vaporeon meme about?
Beastkin.
Probably going to be one of the Beastkin tribes, right?
Absolutely.
Spiders.
Not the spiders.
Not the spider. You know
That's
that
a good
the
question,
you know that
actually.
the spider women are going to be hot. You know it. They just are.
Hmm.
Don't call me
Yeah,
out
are we
like
going?
this.
Are we going a Jorogumer direction, or like person with animal with spider stuff?
I'm picturing like Driders. Like
Sorry, the Jorogumer.
yeah, like centaur spiders.
Okay.
It could vary in range.
Yeah, we're thinking Reckoner.
Yeah. Halfling.
Real question is, did halflings come before or after?
I think before. I think
Okay.
I think aside from the Beastkin, I think humans are the most recent race.
Fair.
Like, humans appeared last and everyone else remembers them appearing, but no one really remembers, like, where they came from. You know what I mean? They just kind of showed up one day. Halflings? Children of the Plains said to have been born of... My initial idea was corn stalks. Like... The idea being like they're natural farmers, right? Like that's their natural they're like country folk, right? So they're not from the world tree like elves are.
Yeah, but they're like born from the land.
The
itself.
land. Yeah. Do I just call it that? Born of the land itself?
Yeah. Go ahead. Give me your money, Woody. I only should be fire.
I like that idea. They're just simple folk. They kind of tend to keep to themselves. They don't really venture out very far, but like everyone that's ever visited them are just like, Those guys are chill as fuck. Like,
This reminds me that in my homebrew setting for D&D that I'm running with Crafty, I have a city that is a bunch of underground tunnels.
Metler, why are
And
you
you're
better at writing lore snippets than me? Like,
Yeah, I have an entire city, or like a town that is just a bunch of underground tunnels. Like, overhead, it looks like a bunch of rolling hills. Underneath, there's a bunch of tunnels. And the only things that live there are dwarves, halflings, and gnomes. Because they're all short races.
that's funny. Hmm. I think I'm gonna keep.
I hate that live lives is a correct way to use those words.
Tend to keep themselves.
Karthik,
Oh,
Slizzy's the bot.
Slizzy's
Slizzy
the
is
bot.
Screamo.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
yeah. Karthik, you found the
You found the
hippity-hoppy
fun
button.
redeem.
You found the fun redeem.
Hippity
You can do
hoppity.
5 per
I'm
stream.
coming for your property.
Yeah, you paid a cigar and you got blasted by Slizzy. Congrats.
Yeah. A lot of people would love for Slizzy to do that to him.
Wildcard. No hesitation, I respect it. What gauge does Slizzy use? Oh, a 12 gauge, obviously.
So, I mean, she's honorary Southern, right? Even if she's not
Exactly.
actually Southern.
Exactly. She's city Southern. Like, goblins. Where are goblins? What's the
Goblin.
lore for goblins? I didn't have goblins in my initial draft of this thing, so I don't have lore for them.
Was that before you became a goblin?
No.
No.
Mm.
Wow.
Okay. So we have halflings born from the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Goblins are born from a corrupted earth. They're just the evil.
Oh, true. If this is like you're going with like a urban kind of setting, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're like
Ooh,
they're
they're
the
born of the
polluted-
streets.
Yeah,
There you
they're
go.
like they're the
They're for
corrupted,
the
polluted.
streets.
I don't know if you want to be saying that about yourself. You and your fucking say-so
Wow.
marketing.
Did you hear that, chat? Zix is for the streets.
Did you just
What
call me a
the
hoe?
fuck?
How dare you?
You
You
did
called
it yourself.
yourself that.
You literally did that to yourself.
No, that's these goblins. They're a different universe than mine. We're good boys.
You said in general, goblins are for the streets.
6 was a creature of the night. Oh,
Your
my
lore
God.
literally is
Are-
that you're a bare knuckle boxer. I don't think those are the most legal practice.
No,
Yeah.
they were legal. They were all of pub fights. Paid pub fights. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
That doesn't mean it's legal.
It's fine. As a local celebrity, don't worry about it.
Celebrities commit crimes all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like the idea of them being but them being tied to the city is kind of good.
Like
And it would be
they're,
cool.
they're
It
a
would be
faction of that.
Wrong.
It would
Like they're
it would distinctly make them different than like most other goblins in fiction.
They came crawling out of the pollution like the little fucking gremlins they are.
Oh my god, I no, oh no.
sewer man.
Are they?
Crawling out of the sewers?
Do I really want to do this to myself?
All I can think of right now are sewer gators.
Boop.
To the sewers.
Do I really want to do this to myself?
You really don't. I mean, I just make them like offshoots of halflings. They just came from a different pod. They're from over there.
They're from the Badlands.
Yeah.
I do like them being tied to the streets, the cities, though. How do I do that though?
They're said to be born of the unruliness of the cities.
Ooh. Alright. Does that kind of hit that, right? The idea of they would have been halflings had the dwarves not settled here.
Yeah.
Again, that's just a fancy way of saying they're born of the pollution and the rot that settled in.
Yeah. Said to be halflings born of the land itself. I don't need that itself there.
Is that a Ferx I see?
Ah.
There you go. What do we think about that? Said to be halflings born from the land that had been conquered by the dwarves. Considered by most to be aberrations of the natural order, they are generally looked down upon and often turn to lives of crime within the cities or lives as bandits within the wilds. Considered by elves and dwarves. I don't think humans give a shit. Halflings also probably don't give a shit. You know?
Halflings are too nice. That's why we invade them.
The halflings would probably welcome them with open arms.
Mm-hmm. They'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
you're,
like,
you're our cousin. Yeah, you're our cousins with the skin condition. Right, like beings that thrive on the shadows of urban life, these green-skinned are often drawn to the glitter and glamour, drawing them out from the sludge that birthed them. Hey, hold on.
Wait,
what are you talking about?
Hold on, are goblins just Florida men then?
Typically, goblins are treated like cretins and pests, but over
Goblins?
the years they've been shown to become harshly with all them.
Ooh, can we have a variant called goblins then?
Goblins? Ugh, I
Yeah.
hate that.
You accidentally said it, so
I'm a goblin. I was born of a sludge.
exactly.
Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. I guess I'm gonna eat some worms.
Devils and angels.
Right.
Where did I put the lore for these guys? Because I do want them to be like a sub-race of each other. I want them to be considered equal opposites, right?
Yeah.
And the choice that you make with them is your bloodline. When I had them named as Varange, Varange are the descendants of other races whose bloodline has somehow been altered by demonic or angelic influence. Perhaps an ancestor made a deal with an entity, or perhaps an ancestor mated with an entity. Whatever the cause, of Varange will generally look similar to their original lineage, will also have demonic or angelic features such as horns, a halo, tail, fangs, and skin in wildly varying shades. If the race that the Varange descends from has a non-standard biological feature such as wings or claws, the Varange may also have those at the discretion of the GM. So shit. It took too much formatting.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
I'm not gonna worry about lifespans. I think I just lift that lore from the original draft.
That's fair.
Hydrate.
Oh.
Thank you. Okay. Hi, Ferks. How doing? I hope you're well.
Hello, hello.
I think that's
Hello.
everyone. I think we have lore for everyone now.
Yeah.
All right. So now we go back to the traits. Orc. I love the idea. This just came to me. I love the idea of orcs being really good friends with halflings and like protecting their lands. Because the halflings are like the only people who like in the wilds like them basically.
I mean, yeah, like I said, halflings are too nice, which is
And
main
conversely,
reason we invade.
so actually, yeah. So orcs in the wild, like wild orcs, like halflings a lot and tend to watch out for them, right? And then city orcs tend to watch out for the goblins.
Okay, yeah.
I actually really like that idea. I'm not mama.
I'm laughing at what Wildcard said.
You're telling me Ipa is a dwarf? Wait, why is Ipa a dwarf? I'm very confused.
I'm telling Hypa.
Automaton.
Oh,
And Mother, yes. Ipa is a dwarf. Ooh-woody. Ooh-woody. We love it. Alright, but still, what's the negative to being an orc?
Being an orc.
Fuck. What's like a tangible gameplay negative to being an orc? Because right now, this is all upsides. Right now, orc is the most powerful race, I think. Actually, I take that back. Jotun's the most powerful race, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it has to be a stat thing. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah. Just how you built it.
I call it like that a few times. I've never noticed it. I'm so dumb. Elriz. Oh my god. Is it personality checks?
Yes.
Specifically, I
Kill
think
me?
speechcraft and allure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Having strong impulsive natures would create negative impacts on your personality checks.
Mm-hmm. Yunli's really good.
I mean, Yunli is literally just Clara with better numbers. That's all she is. She's Clara with better numbers and, like, that fixes the problem that Clara had of not being, like, effectively multi-target. So negatives to speechcraft and allure, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we make it a hefty negative, right? Is 3 too much?
Go to bed, Naren.
On an English roll because it's 2 a.m. and I'm sleepy. Go eat. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna +1. Oh god, that's brutal though. If you to overcome that debuff, if I give it a +3, you have to master those skills. Which means you have to have 3 layers of competency. And even then, if you master it, you get a +1. I think that's too much. I think 3 is too much.
Mm-hmm. And it's
2?
also
What?
that also does like pigeonhole orcs being like, you have to go this way with it.
Yeah. Well, it pigeonholes them out of personality classes, basically.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is probably do the -1 or -2, depending on how many types of checks it's gonna affect. And then later down the line, we can create feats that work against some of these checks.
Yeah. Blood Rush is really good.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe getting rid of that and give them something akin to the current Goliath's Stone's Endurance.
I feel like maybe the Blood Rush thing would be like a feat specifically that they can get that nobody else.
I do like the
Yeah,
idea of
Stone-
like racial feats.
Hmm.
Or like
I was
either
thinking-
racial feats or like paradigm feats, basically. Like the idea of like, oh, if you go into this class, it's feats locked behind class levels, essentially, right?
Yeah, I mean, in D&D, certain races have like spells they learn at certain levels.
Goliath.
Yeah, so Stone's Endurance. You can supernaturally draw an unyielding stone to shrug off harm. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to roll a d12, add your Constitution modifier to the number rolled, and reduce the damage by that total.
How often could they do that?
In D&D, it's equal to your proficiency bonus. I think that fits the flavor of an enduring warrior, without being like, if you're not playing a martial class with this race, you're doing it wrong.
Sleep is unnecessary. I think no, sleep is very necessary. Man,
Sleep would be good.
Okay, read that to me one more time.
Yep. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to roll a d12. Add your Constitution modifier to the number rolled and reduce the damage by that total. So in this case, would be
This is the
the
damage
body.
reduction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Boomy. Boomy is often wildly inaccurate on things.
Sounds like Boomy, alright. Aaron, sleep is not optional. Go sleep.
What if I gave them a frightening presence sort of thing?
It could work.
Like once per X thing, or like X number of times per thing, right? What would it be? A willpower check, probably?
On the enemy's team, probably.
Yeah.
Your ability to force yourself through it.
Well, no. The idea of they make a willpower check opposed to your choice of a strength or speechcraft check. And if they fail, the next turn they have to spend their entire movement moving away from you.
Sounds alright.
Oop. Resource restriction TBD. You may impose a willpower check opposed to your rank or what do we say? Speechcraft?
Yeah. Stretch time.
Stretch. Thank you. Speechcraft roll. On any number of creatures that can see you. There you go. You may impose a willpower check opposed to your strength or speechcraft roll on any number of creatures that can see you. If failed, the creature must spend its entire movement speed retreating from you on its next turn. I like that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because it plays to that like terrifying like, oh, they're like an abomination.
Yeah, I like it. Works.
What's interesting is you can choose to do it with the speechcraft, but this also gives you a -1 to speechcraft.
I assume you're just writing it in average terms.
Yeah. It's 5:50. Been going for about 3 hours. How many races do we have left? We've got humans, we've got halflings, we got goblins, we got the devils and angels, we got the automatons, and we got the animalkin. We've got 6 races left. I do not want to stay up enough to do 6 races. So I think that we end here, right?
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see who we have streaming today. We're gonna refresh this page. Let's see who's live here. Mm. Wait. Hold on.
All right.
I was playing Sonic Heroes. It's so random.
That's
I kind of
cool.
love it. Um. hmm. What do we think? Do we want to go? Do we want to go to a Sonic Hero streamer?
Yes.
It's so random. I haven't seen someone stream Sonic Heroes in a long time. Let's go. I don't know this person. I follow them apparently, but I don't know them. I don't recognize them offhand. So we're gonna raid her. Model looks kind of cool. But playing Sonic Heroes. There's our raid message. There's the one that we have. If you don't have the emotes, I will be back tomorrow. Thank you guys for being here, and until I see you the next time, I like to end the stream the same way every day, and that is my advice to you. And my advice to you is this: tell your loved ones you love them, be the best version of yourself that you can be, and try and make the world a better place in your own way each day. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
No confidence.